Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I know it's lastly, I'll be using my Italian seasoning, and this will be the last of the seasoning that I'll be adding to my ground beef. And then I'm going to mix all of my seasonings into my ground beef by stirring until it's all mixed together. Here I'm stirring my ground beef. Here I'm using a utensil to finely separate my ground beef from bigger pieces to smaller pieces. I found this tool to be very useful. Again, you can use whatever utensil you choose, but this utensil I prefer to use because I feel like it's easier to separate my ground beef. Okay, here you have me chopping up some pork sausages. In my baked lasagna, I will be adding two different types of sausages. I will be adding pork sausages as well as beef sausages. After chopping up these pork sausages, I placed them in my air fryer and I'll be covering them in olive oil to be placed inside of my air fryer to cook. Okay, now I'm adding in my mushrooms to my ground beef mixture. Some may prefer mushrooms, some may not. Again, it gives me a more earthier taste. I love the taste of mushrooms, so I'm adding mushrooms to my lasagna. Here I'm stirring in my mushrooms with my ground beef. And after mixing in them together, I'm going to be adding in my sauce. Here I'm choosing to use classical sauce. I'm going to be using 2 different types of sauces. And now I'm going to add in my second jar. I'm using roasted garlic as well as traditional. After mixing in my sauces, I'm going to be stirring them into my ground beef mixture until it's all coated together, and then I'm going to cover them to simmer. After simmering, here I'll be adding in a little bit of sugar to give it a sweeter taste. Some prefer sugar, some may not. But again, as I'm making my lasagna, I prefer sugar to give it a sweeter taste. Again, it's up to your liking. You do not have to use sugar. Here I'm going to mix in my sugar with my sauce and my ground beef, and then I'm going to cover it up to simmer again. Okay, next in this step, I'm going to mix in my cheeses. I'm going to be using ricotta cheese, cottage cheese, with a little bit of sour cream. I'm going to mix it all into a bowl so that I can add it to my lasagna before I bake it. With each cheese that I choose to use, I'm only using half of it. I'm not using the entire jar, the entire container. I'm only going to be using half of each one of them. Once I mix them together, I'm going to stir it all, and then I'm going to set it aside as I prepare to make my lasagna. This is where the fun begins. I'm beginning to lay out my pasta so that I can begin to prepare my lasagna. I'm covering the entire bottom of the pan with, I believe, 4 strips of lasagna pasta. After neatly placing my lasagna into my pan, I'm going to begin to add a layer of my ground beef mixture. have two different types of sausages. This side of the pasta is going to be pork sausages with pork pepperoni, which I'm layering out. Then after finishing this side, I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to put in some beef sausages and turkey pepperoni. Finishing it up with my pork sausages, and now I'm going to add in my beef sausages and my turkey pepperoni. I know you guys are wondering how she's going to know the difference once it's baked. Let the fun begin. You'll see in a few minutes. In my household, my husband and I don't eat pork, so when I make dishes like this, I have to separate them and make one side for us and one side for the other house. Okay, here you have it, guys. I'm mixing in my 3 cheeses that I had mixed in the bowl: ricotta cheese, my cottage cheese, and my sour cream. I'm going to place it throughout my pasta, and then I'm going to mix it all together. After layering and mixing in those cheeses, I'm going to be adding my shredded cheeses. Once all of that is added, I'm going to begin to add my shredded cheeses. The 3 different cheeses that I'm choosing to use are mild cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar cheese, and mozzarella shredded cheese. Okay, and after I'm going to add my shredded cheeses,